Good evening, good evening. This is Marie Holiday. I hope everybody had a fabulous evening. And before we get started, please hit my subscribe button. Support and subscribe to my channel. If you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, and if you are a consistent viewer, please pull up YouTube on your smartphone. Marie Holiday, hit that subscribe button and notification button. Support and subscribe to this channel. You know, if you're watching my videos without subscribing, does not support my channel. And also share my channel with one person in your household. So the focus of this lecture is going to be simple living is not new, aka minimalist living. And I've been wanting to do a lecture on this for a while now. In the United States, 1 in 4 people have a clutter problem, with so many items weighing us down in our everyday lives. So it's no surprise that one of the biggest trends these days is not just a design style, but an entire lifestyle change. A growing movement called minimalist or minimalist living has re-emerged. And you notice I said re-emerge. Minimalist living is not a new concept, so pay attention. Though minimalist lifestyle has gained more popularity in recent years thanks to the tiny house movement, minimalist is nothing new. It actually has its roots in Buddhism and was first coined in the mid-1960s. Minimalist has grown into a way of life that emphasizes living with less and thus appreciating more. And living with less also ties into the concept of living below your means, which ties into the concept of my channel in terms of creating that financial freedom. So if you're wondering more about how to incorporate it into your own home, the minimalist living, I'm going to provide some tips on how to create a minimalist lifestyle. And I've been creating a minimal lifestyle within my home for the past year, you know, to prepare myself as I head towards retirement and getting accustomed to living a minimalist lifestyle. So I utilize all these tips that I'm about to present. Though minimalism can be defined in many different ways, there's typically one common unifying theme to the movement. And that unifying theme is a philosophy of living simply or living with less. Minimalism is the intentional promotion of the things we most value in life by removing anything that distracts us from it, meaning declutter. Minimalism can be applied to many areas of our lives, such as our schedule, our relationships, and more. It can be applied to traveling with less, and etc. But a central part of minimalist living is often in the home. So when thinking about how a minimalist home looks like, you might first think of white, open space and bare walls. But the truth is that every person can practice minimalist living differently in their home. A minimalist home is very intentional. Each possession is there for a reason. As such, minimalist living typically involves decluttering and organizing and beautifying your home. And minimizing your home with all of that extra stuff that you really don't need, all in order to lead a simpler, more purposeful lifestyle. So I'm going to introduce some tips for creating a minimalist lifestyle in your home. These tips I have already incorporated for the past year now, so pay attention. Number 1. Focus on one room at a time. Focus on one room at a time. Direct your time and energy into the easiest room first. And by my daughter being in the military and been gone with her career for years, the first room that I tackled to declutter was her room, because she's got her own career in her life now. Then use that as inspiration for other rooms as you go through the rest of your home, decluttering. Number 2 tip, start with the visible areas first. Once you've chosen a room to focus on, a good approach is to start with the visible areas first. Things like the shelves, the furniture, the nightstand, the bed, anything on the floor, and etc. Before moving on to the hidden areas in the room, like organizing the drawers, the cabinets, and the closets, and etc. This way, you will be able to actually see your progress as you go along. And I'm here to tell you, which can help immensely when you feel overwhelmed with the amount of items you have to go through. And do it room by room by room. And make a long story short, with that first room in my home, by the time I got done decluttering, the room literally now is empty. And I'm here to tell you. The next tip, number 3 tip is declutter by keeping only the essentials. When it's time to actually start decluttering, a good rule of thumb is to keep only the items that are truly essential and meaningful to you. Move through your home, easiest to hardest, touching each item and deciding, is this something that is bringing value to my life? Is this something that is helping me create the home that I want, or is it actually distracting from it? And if you're still having trouble deciding on what to keep, what to donate, what to sell or toss away, ask yourself specific questions about the particular item. Number 1, do I need it? Number 2, do I use it? Number 3, what would I use if I didn't have it? And number 4, why do I have it? Tip number 4, limit your decorations to meaningful items. If you want to commit to a minimalist home, it's best to limit your decorations to the ones that hold special value or meaning. It's better to own fewer decorations by keeping only the ones that are most meaningful to you. So when we own fewer decorations, we bring greater attention and value to the ones that mean the most to us. Tip number 5, tidy up regular. When you declutter your home, when you remove a lot of excess furniture that you don't need, and when you don't went through your drawers, so you gotta frequently tidy up regular in your home. It's one thing to effectively transform your home to a minimalist one, but it's another to keep it that way for good. Your home is a space that's continuously being lived in. So as time go on, things will start to get messy after a while. That's why it's important to have good cleaning habits or in moving forward. And I'm here to tell you, even if the room is empty, absolutely nothing in that room, you should go in there and mop the floor and wipe down the windows and etc. So it's about tidying up the space that you have, and knowing that some space needs daily attention. Some space needs weekly attention, and some space needs seasonal attention. Tip number 6, resist the temptation to buy more. It can be especially hard to buy fewer things in an age of constant advertising. Stay away from advertisement as much as you can. Rather, that means unsubscribing from certain emails, watching less television, or throwing away junk mail. And I'm here to tell you. So think about what are things that you really, really like. You got to think about that. versus what are the things like materialism or advertisement has caused you to like. Figure out what your taste is and what makes you happy in your space. Because the more you declutter, then the more you're going to have room to, you can set up an exercise space in your home, a meditation space in your home. You got all this open space to do all of that. Number 7 tip, find your purpose. Here is one of the most important parts of minimalist living. If you're thinking of starting to live more minimally in your home, take some time to reflect on why you're doing it. You got to have a purpose. My purpose is to just free up space so I can have room to exercise, have room to meditate. When you got less, when you declutter, that means you're spending less, and my home is more purposeful, and I'm here to tell you. So if you're thinking of starting to live more minimally in your home, take some time to reflect on why you are doing it. Everybody got their own reasons for doing what they want to do if they decide to live this type of lifestyle. Rather, that's because you want to save more money, because when you declutter and you're living a minimalist lifestyle, and when you turn your home into a paradise, I'm here to tell you, I have saved a truckload of money. Or some people may want to do it because you may want to spend more time with family. When you're decluttering, then you're spending more family time. You're enjoying that meal together. You're enjoying that movie together versus being glued to all the toys in your home, the electronics in your home, and etc. Or some people may be doing it or because you want to retire early and enjoy your retirement years, because when you live a minimalist lifestyle, you declutter, it's easy to maintain your house, it's easy to clean the house because there's not a whole lot of excessive furniture in there, items and electronics and clothes and shoes. You've gotten rid of all of that unnecessary stuff, and you're only keeping the stuff that means value to you. And I'm here to tell you, everybody got to find their own reason and purpose for doing this. This is especially important, ultimately, is finding your own reason and purpose for wanting to live a minimalist lifestyle. Because minimalist living is about leading a more intentional life of purpose. And I'm here to tell you, the goal of minimalist living is it isn't just to own less stuff. The goal of minimalist living is to live a more meaningful life than ever before. And like I said, the home becomes easy to maintain, so it can free you up to be able to get outside and enjoy nature and travel more. And I'm here to tell you. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you got something out of this lecture. Please don't forget to hit my subscribe button, hit my notification button, support and subscribe to Marie Holiday YouTube channel. Let's get my numbers up. Share my channel with one person you know. And with that being said, simplify, simple fidelis, and I'm going to leave you in the care of your own conscience. Have a great evening.